Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, hello, everybody. Let me wait for people to join. Let me see who's here. People are joining, just waiting for a few minutes for people to come. So people are coming.
Hello, hello. Um, so, for those who don't know me, my name is Deborah, and I am a marketing manager here at Humify, and I am going to be your host. And I have the privilege and the honor to introduce our supervisor, Marcos. He's going to be talking today about the power of honor and legacy. So, and then I love this question, like what mark are we leaving? So I think today is going to be a really profound topic, and that we can also learn and putting, I don't know, just like practice right after we leave here the life. So Marcos, thank you for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you so much. And yes, I believe it's such an important topic, such a huge responsibility. And it is something, by the way, just starting here. It's great to have you here all with me. And this came to me the last week while Bia, I don't know if she's here, but I remember when she was just talking about Paul, and something came to my heart. And it was two words, honor and legacy. And I knew that there was something there. And suddenly came the invitation, and I said, okay, that's the point, that's the thing, that's what we are going to discuss. And I was really thinking about how to address those things. And I know that there are so many things to be discussed on this topic. So let's run this. But before going through honor and legacy and etc., and I just want to be open for the comments. I know that there's a comment there, so please join and share this message as well. But before talking about honor, I want to make a question and provoke ourselves by asking what brought us here, and I will include myself as well. Uh, who was like ourselves before coming not only to this meeting, but also to Humify? What plans led us to a moment like this? I know that each of us like carries a unique background, experiences, skills, relationships that shape somehow who we are today. And I want to start by taking this moment as a reflection, a moment to reflect on our journey, our wins, struggles, it's necessary to be polished, to growth, and etc. And while I was preparing this, and I have some things written here, I was thinking about myself, like who was like Marcos before joining Humify, what were my history, and I mean, I have experiences in lots of different jobs, lots of different leaderships, leaders, positives, negatives, experiences in hotels, travel agencies, uh, even restaurants, even spiritual retreatments, parking lot. And I was really navigating these things. And I want this moment as an opportunity to first to evaluate who we are and the experiences that took us to a place like this, because I'm going to talk about it, but I do believe that all of these experiences shapes who we are today, and shapes, yes, the job that we do and the excellence and everything that we provide for the companies we are working with. In this moment, humify, but how it was for you in the past, how was the relationships, maybe frustrations, maybe something excited, a promotion that you had, and so I really want to go into these things, right? And uh, I want to start talking that everything we've been through has built the foundation of where we stand now. You know, sorry for any background noise. So everything that we've been through has built the foundation for where we stand now. And I really want to talk about honor. And honor is about respecting first ourselves, those around us, and the work we do. It's about accountability. And I know that we talk about accountability. We've been talking for many times. And this is also about Humify. It's one of the pillars of the company. But accountability, it is like honoring our responsibilities and ownership, taking pride in what we deliver. When we work with honor, we create trust, credibility, and excellence as well. So before talking about the legacy, it's important to talk about honor. And so how do we maintain honor? While I was thinking about this, there are three topics related to that, that it was an evaluation for myself. And so how do we maintain the honor? Through ethics and transparency. I believe this is the first thing, and above all, it's ethics and transparency in everything that we do. And once again, I'm here talking about the job. I'm here to talk about the work that we do, but somehow this also reflects who we are as a person. This will also reflect on the relationships that we have around us. This will shape also the environment where we are. I know that before in some stand-ups, before I talked about knowing who I am. So something that just came here, it's to know who we are. You must understand who you are. You must understand what you do. And okay, I'm here because I know who I am. If I am a believer, I know who I am in Christ. And this must be really important. I know who I am. And to maintain honor through ethics and transparency means doing what is right, even when no one is watching. And this something, it looks like, okay, my parents giving me some advice about it, but this is related to the remote work. I know that this can maybe be a challenge or not. And the ethics and transparency by doing what is right, even no one is watching. For example, reporting an error in a project, even if would go unnoticed, because integrity matters more than appearances. And this, I believe, is really strong. Integrity matters more than appearances. So, okay, there's something, a feedback that I must give to a project or whatever, but I will not be noticed. So why should I give this feedback? Why should I reply this person? Why should I give an answer to a message? Why should I give like even an emoji to something? Because integrity matters than appearances. So we must always evaluate ourselves if we're doing things with transparency, with honor, knowing that even that no one will notice me in this position, in this situation, no one is watching what I'm doing. So I'm doing it with ethic and transparency. Another thing that I think it's really important, it's self-awareness, which means recognizing our strengths and areas to grow. Basically, I can summarize this into being humble to ourselves and to the company that we work with. to be humble that, okay, I didn't understand what is necessary to be done. Things are not that clear. So I will ask for help. I will ask and say, sorry, but I can't. Sorry, but this is too much. And so acknowledging when we need help on a task instead of struggling alone and seeking feedback to improve. And this is something that I believe the Humify is different because from all the places that I've been working with, I believe Humify has something special that is uh, people first. This is a value, this is a pillar, this is something about Humify people first. And during the health checks, it is the opportunity that we do have for sharing things. Many times, okay, I don't know, I'm feeling this or that, I have this or that impression, but I don't know if I can ask, how can I ask, how to read the room, and etc. So how can I act during the situation? So this happened. I'm afraid. I don't know, and can you please help me? So the supervisor is there also to help. And be humble. Don't think that you must handle and hold everything. That you must know everything, understand everything, and have knowledge of everything. It's okay to say that is not okay. So it's important to maintain honor through self-awareness. Another thing, it is about honesty. And when I talk about honesty, it's like honest to yourself uh, in our work and interactions. Honor in honesty, it's giving constructive, and I really want to be wise on my words, and I really want you to be open for that, but giving constructive, honest feedback to a teammate instead of saying what they want to hear, fostering growth and trust. Okay, this can even be harder when you are close to a coworker. Many times we get along with people, it's like a friendly environment. This is totally positive. I believe that a healthy environment, a place where you are free to talk about different topics, different things rather than the job, it is really positive. But to establish boundaries and limits and understand, okay, uh, I must I have something to say, but how can I say that? If I talk to a colleague, will be in a friendly way or professional one. So it must be necessary to be honest, honest to our work and interactions. And I will talk about this here in this not another topic that it's threats to honor. And we can build honor. We can also damage it. So that's what I want to come with in this topic. So the same way where we can build a place, an environment of honor, we can damage the honor as well. And so it's necessary for us to balance this. And once again, this came for me. So I'm talking here not to you guys, but to me first. And when I built this, I was evaluating myself first. Some things that waken honor include unproductive side conversations. So discussing work challenges with teammates is valuable, as I said before. But when conversations turn into complaints and whining about others or whatever, it can create misunderstanding and break trust. So, mainly in a remote environment, this is a challenge to establish trust, to establish a place of I can trust these people, I can have a get along with them. So, if things are not that okay, how can I address the conversation? And whining and complaining about things many times break this trust, break the relationship, and turns into a wrong side that it's not that positive at all. Another threat to honor, I believe, is bringing personal frustrations into the workplace. And once again, this is not easy, but being professional means okay, I'm passing through a hard situation in my personal life, but now it's a moment for to work. So, okay, take a breath, drink some water, and let's go there. if you need help, once again, you have a leadership, you have a supervisor, you have health checks to address things. It's important to be transparent, but also it's important to balance things. Okay, is this personal issue, this personal thing affecting my productivity? It's affecting my job, so we have a problem. So it's necessary to balance this, and to bring personal frustrations into the workplace can even damage the relationship with others. And this is a risk. Another trait to honor, it is expressing concerns in wrong space. If we have, once again, even frustrations or even suggestions about work, the best approach is to address them directly with the leadership, doing health checks, whatever, or through the appropriate channels rather than venting to colleagues, which may not lead to a solution. And this is also about professionalism. I'm talking here with adults. We are not talking about with children. And we must be mature to understand, okay, uh, will I complain about the situation with a team, with a coworker, or will I build a place of constructive situation? Okay, this is happening. How can we fix the situation? Okay, can you please help me with this? Or I cannot, I don't know how to address the situation. So, supervisor, leader, please, I'm passing through this situation. This is my opinion. I'm feeling this or that. And so, how can I address this properly in a professional way? Right. So, I know that many times this is not easy to hear and to be heard, even for myself, I have to say, but this builds an environment of honor, right? And these actions don't just affect individuals, they create a ripple effect that impacts the entire team and ultimately our legacy. And that's the next step. So, why to address those hard topics, hard things related to honor? Because we have a legacy. And the company also has a legacy. There is a history behind. There is something there. And talking about legacy now, I mean, legacy is the mark we leave behind. It's the impact of our time here, not only, once again, our job, but also in our lives. Have we ever thought about those who held our roles before us, or are we among the first paving the way? Paving the way. And when this question came to my heart, I was like, okay, I was thinking about the supervisor position. When I arrived here, the first thing that I thought was, okay, this is nothing but a challenge. It is a challenge. And I was thinking about the person or the people that came before myself. And I was like, okay, there is a legacy. There are some expectations on this road. The the team, they are just, the managers just waiting for me for something. They have expectations on me based on the legacy that came through the previous ones. And based on that, how can I build a place, an environment of honor to honor the legacy of that person? And how can I make the difference to bring a legacy to the other ones that will come? Even if I am the first person in the doing the job or in this role, uh, my question must be: okay, am I leaving a legacy, a positive legacy, to the future ones that will come? Every action, attitude, and effort we put in today shapes what others will inherit tomorrow. Whether we realize it or not, we are helping to establish the culture and standards for future remote talents. Our legacy is being built right now. And that's something we must think about it when we establish a place of honor. Uh, Even that you think that, okay, why is this so important nowadays? Okay, why am I doing this or that? I'm working on a project and it's a random project. It's not something that will last forever. So why should I, be so pay attention on that and etc. Because the way how you work on a project, the way how you are working today, uh, the way how you're expressing yourself at this moment will shape the impressions about you, about your job, and it will impact the environment and how the company is growing, how the culture is changing. And I do believe that that culture in a company, it's something alive. It's like a plant. It's something that you seed, and it depends on every structure. It depends on every person, everyone that is working on the company shapes the culture, shapes how it's going to be in the future. Of course, we have values. Of course, we have pillars. Of course, we have standard ones. We have pillars on the company, but the actions and the little things, the small things that each remote talent does, the effort and the excellence that we are always asking for, the consistency that we are always asking for, shapes the company in the future. And everything that remote talents do, everything that remote talent does, it will affect the legacy of Humify. Talking about Humify specifically, the job that each remote talents are doing, and I'm talking about Humify internally, I'm talking about the remote talents, also the creatives, whatever, everything that each one of us do in this company, it shapes the growing, it shapes everything that we intend to. Something that I used to talk during the health checks, it is, if you grow, the company will grow. And this is about legacy. The legacy that you're giving to us, if it's a legacy of, okay, growing, positive, impacting, empowering, coaching, I have an idea, I have a project, I have something that I believe it will be helpful, it will help the others. This helps us to grow. And it's letting you, it's bringing a legacy, a positive legacy. And in the future, why not? We'll say, okay, there was a remote talent here months, years ago, and these things here, it was this person that built. For example, like an SOP, something that we do here at Humify, like, okay, every time that I am refining, polishing the system operation, the SOP procedure, uh, I think, okay, this thing will endure for a long time. So this project that I'm working on, that putting effort, the studies that I'm doing, the articles that I'm studying, if I'm studying AI, technology, things are changing every single day. This will endure forever. This will be lasting. I want this to endure forever. I want this to endure during the long term, the long journey. And if I'm not doing this with excellence, with consistency, this will not endure. And you're going to be just one another remote talent. It will not have impact in the job. And it can even be a negative impact on the job. And this is not positive. I don't want you to be reminded as a person that, okay, just passed it through, had a moment with us, and has gone. That's okay. No, that was such a great person that came here, that passed a month, 2 months, 4 years with us, and helped it growing who we are today. That's the mark that I want to maintain here, to establish here, not only for me, but also for all of you while I'm doing health checks, while I'm doing my job. And so with the understanding that there is a legacy being built, there is a legacy being shaped, there is something that will endure for a long time. And the impact of attitude on legacy, if I could say, uh, the negative things that we do, like negativity, dissatisfaction, lack of motivation, don't just harm our personal performance, they also damage our honor and the legacy we leave behind. Our actions today influence future opportunities, whether we see it now or not. So it's something that it's necessary to keep in mind. Okay, if I pass it through a negative situation here, so how will this impact in the future? Not only to myself, but to the mark that I left to that company, you know? So this is something that I always think about it, right? What is the legacy I'm leaving? Um, and talking about, as I believe most of us here are Christians, are believers, and Bia were talking about last week about Paul. When I thought about honor and legacy, I was really thinking about Corinthians, that says in 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, by the way, Paul was giving instructions and directions to the church about the conduct of the life. these instructions also apply to us nowadays. This is important for us and says, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. And do we honor God? Do we honor the opportunity that we have to have a job? Do we honor the job that was offered to us? Do we really honor the opportunity that we have? And above all, do we honor God on things that we are doing nowadays? This speaks directly to how we should approach our work. Excellence isn't just about meeting expectations at all. It's about honoring the opportunity we've been given and ensuring our work reflects integrity and dedication. And that's something I want to bring to my life, and I want to bring to your life as well, for everyone that is here. Integrity and dedication, and this will bring a legacy to you and the job that you're doing. And so I just want to bring comments, opinions. There is always there, but I want us to ask ourselves, starting from me, why not? If we were to review how we've honored the opportunity to be here at Unify, to be a remote talent, could we confidently say we are leaving a good legacy? We don't know what tomorrow holds, but one thing is certain. What we do today will shape it. And so let's make sure the mark we leave is one of honor, excellence, and purpose. That's the three things that I have in my mind every time, wherever I am, and every day that I'm here. Like if I wake up and I'm going to work, am I leaving a legacy of honor, excellence, and purpose? Is there a purpose and honesty in everything I'm doing? Uh, and I'm really honoring this opportunity and the God that gave me this opportunity. And am I honoring the time, the effort that the leaders are giving me? Because time is something really important most nowadays, I believe. And leaders, the supervisor, they took a time to invest in you. They took a time to people invested time in you, in your job, and in the things that you're doing. So, are you honoring this time? Do you really think that did they were like wasting time on investing in you, or do you think that okay, they took a time, and I don't want them to waste it. I want to make it worth it. So this is something I want to make. I just want to bring this question for today and for you all, right? So I believe that that's my words. It didn't took so much time. I really want to bring comments and Deborah for discussion. I talked so much, and now it's your time. You all, thank you so much.
Thank you, Marcos. I just want to open to anyone who wants to share something, or maybe like an experience, like Marco was also sharing his experience a little bit before working here at Humify. You guys no need to be shy. This is a place for us to also to engage and have a conversation. Like yeah, Soraya is saying, we all have influence in some way. Let's leave a legacy. That's true. That's true. That's a really true comment, because sometimes we think that our role is too small, or that like we don't have we don't have like anyone following us, but that's not true at all. So like Marcos was sharing, like Soraya is also saying, like we all have influence in some way,
Mm-hmm.
either be at our house, in our house, homes, families. Like I have two kids, so I have like I am a big influence in my kids' life. They are my force. I joke with my husband always, like they are my two most important followers. So this is really true, that we have influence in every way, and we are leaving a legacy, not only here in the company, but also in your personal life, in your
Exactly.
spiritual life. So if you guys want to share anything, we still have
And
time
also,
before. Yeah, Marcus, just go.
sorry, Deborah, when you mentioned about kids, that's something that I think,
Yeah.
okay, I don't have kids yet. I'm not a father yet, but it's something that I always think as well. Like many times, and this goes to the business as well. And these are about experiences that I have previously. Like many times, I think that it's just an ordinary idea. I think that okay, this will not make an impact. This will not make difference. This is just a little opinion, just an opinion. It's something, and maybe and this happens like the ordinary things that you imagine that will not impact brings an extraordinary impact to the other person. So it's always important for us to be someone that wants to influence. And many times I do believe that like the small things and the ordinary impacts that we do brings an extraordinary impact in the future. And that's nothing but yes, it's like a chain, you know. Okay, the small things that you do to this part of the chain can affect all the other parts. And when we talk about kids, I believe for the parents here, it's I expect them that they think about this because uh, I don't see this because when you talk to a kid, to children, something that can be small, just a detail or one word that we speak to them, and you think that this didn't affect that person, that little person, suddenly this kid and the children, they just started to talk about that and ask about it. And it was like, okay, what did I do? This happened to me, you know. I used to teach English, for example, to kids. And many times I think, okay, it was just a word that I said, that I learned, that I teach to this kid, to this small person. And suddenly that impacted the person and he started to talk about it all the time and etc. and ask. And so that's the thing,
Yeah.
like the ordinary, the little things that the opinions that we have that we think that, okay, it doesn't matter. It's not like worth it. It will not be to growth, but you don't know. Maybe it's an
Yeah.
idea that you have there hidden there behind, and it's an idea that can impact and change the company. You know,
Hmm.
okay, I have an idea for a project or whatever, and so okay, this will not make a change, but it will. Share. You have a no. Why not seeking for the yes? You know, maybe it needs just a polishment. It needs just a refinement, and so I really do believe that.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. Thank you for this. I think there's no like small influence, right? Aline, do you want to say something?
Yeah, it was like thanks that one of the things that Marcos mentioned about of us, taking the time and being there and in this place of communicating and everything. And one thing that happened to me, I think was like 3 weeks ago. I think it was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I don't remember. Close. It was one of those Fridays in the company that I work with. It was those crazy Fridays that we were like here and exhausted and kind of angry because things were not going the way we wanted and the project wasn't uploading and downloading and whatever. Like it's Fridays are always our challenge. And it was not my day that day. And out of the blue, I received a call from my supervisor, and he called me. My supervisor in this case is Ryan, and he called me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Jesus! Like, why is Ryan calling me? For what reason?" And I was like, "Hey, boss, what's up?" And he was like, "Hey, are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah. Did something happen?" And he was like, "No, just checking on you." I'm like, why? Like, why are you calling? And it was like, I'm calling to check if everything's okay. Are you okay? And then I was like, I stopped to a moment because whoever has this tendency of being introvert, like, and you are always in a position of having to make things right all the time. And I don't know you, but I always have this tendency of like, I always want to surpass the expectations, and I always want to do my best and not be a pain in someone's. And I don't want to worry people. And but for me, I was like, okay, I have a choice. Do I tell him how exactly I am feeling right now and about the company and about the stress, or should I just say no, everything's fine? Because I could tell that because he would never know.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? And then I was like, yeah, I'm just tired. And he was like, what are you tired of? And then I started to explain to him everything that we were going through and like the challenges that we were facing and the difficulties that it was sometimes not in a place of whining or even like complaining, but about a challenge that was like, it's a new thing. It was a new challenge and how much that was impacting me. And then he was like, we were just, we talked like, I don't know, guys, was like 10 minutes maximum because I was like,
Hmm.
I couldn't talk because I was working. And he was like, no, just chill out. Everything's okay. We just had this very light discussion. And one of the things that I felt was, in some sense, like you should not be keeping things out because you don't know how the other person, like your leader or those that you admire, would think about it or think less of you, or if they're not gonna actually believe how much weight that is. You should not go that path. Like if someone is asking you, be honest, because one of the things that I see happening for us, even like for whoever is a Christian, we talk about truth and being truthful and loyal in everything that we do and that we walking through. But sometimes we do have some questions, like basic questions on the daily basis, that we lie about it.
Hmm.
And it's so like, come on, there's no way of you being completely right and walking in truth in one thing, and in the basic thing you lying about it. Because if you're not good, oh, but we are faith people, like, yeah, we're faith, but reality doesn't put the faith under the rug. So we need to be truth to what we are feeling as well, and the struggles that we are going through as well, in the small details. And he like the way that he understood what I was talking about, and gave a word of encouragement, and even gave me some insight of, um, okay, do this, like think this way. It was really helpful, like, and now that's like what I've been trying to do. Oh, but you might say, oh, but yeah, your supervisor is Ryan, like, obviously. No, guys, like whoever, like it could be your colleague, it could be your project manager, it could be your supervisor, whoever it is that it's like in some sense above you and caring for you. He can be, a word and bring some sort of counseling. And because some the people, the other person can see sometimes things that you are unable to see at that moment of friction and
Hmm.
challenge. So it's good to be truthful and sharing, even though it's hard sometimes and you don't want to put yourself into this place of vulnerability. But for us to grow, we need, most of the time, for us to grow, we need to expose our loss and open up our hearts to receive some help. So that's what I've
Yeah.
been, while you were teaching, I was like, yeah, that's like, we have to stand out
Mm.
there. So yeah, that's just something I want to share.
Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Aline.
you so much.
I
I
was I just sometimes like, because I don't know if it's a Brazilian culture or something that is part of us, Brazilians, that it's hard for us to be vulnerable and also to share things. We always hear, so she, I'm gonna talk something about Finnish people that is so that I've learned so much from this. Like every time in Finland, people were like, I ask people like, so how you doing? So they're like, okay, so I'm not doing well. Like, no. And then they're just like, I never met them before, but they just share. Like, I'm like, okay, hold on, just wait a second. But then I've learned so much. And it's like Aline was saying, like, Ryan just called. He was something out of the blue, just asking, how are you? So, and then he just was vulnerable, and that thing helped her. So this is also a really health. Yeah, it is healthy to also um, have this like this open conversations. Like that's why I think also
truthfulness.
in the, yeah, here in this stand up, I think we really want this place to be a place that you can share your testimonies, that you can share how things are going with you, to be more like a personal place for us to open. And that's why we are like bringing guests, bringing people over, talking about different kinds of topics, Like next week, we are going to talk about emotional intelligence with a
Hmm.
special guest. That she really has she's really skilled to talk about this topic. So we really want this place to be like a place that we can grow together. And thank you so much, Marcos, for
Yeah,
sharing
thank you.
with us today. And as we come, because our time is almost out, but as we come to the end of this meeting, I just want to leave you with a final thought. Like Marcos was sharing, like everything we do today shapes the legacy we leave behind. So think back to the question he asked at the beginning, like what brought you here, your journey, your skills, and your experience, they all have led you to this moment. So where you go from here and the impact you make depends on how you choose to carry yourself moving forward. So if you want after this meeting to just write something down and like for you don't so you don't miss anything, I think I just advise you to do this. And also, like he was saying, that honor is not just a word; it's an action, right? So it's how we
Exactly.
uphold our responsibilities and how we interact with one another and how we approach our work is a commitment to doing the right thing, even when no one is watching, like especially where no one is watching. So each one of us is writing our own legacy, whether we realize it or not. So the question is, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? Do I want to leave? Will be one of integrity, dedication, and excellence, or be one of like missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential? So um, let's choose to lead with honor and to build something meaningful here and also in your personal lives, in your family and friends and church, wherever you go. And let's ensure that when we look back on our time here, we can say like with 100% that like Aline was saying, I want to give my best. So let's say that like, okay, I did my best. And not just for myself, but also for the team, the company, and also the like everyone around us. So I really wait for you guys next week. It's gonna be a really, really deep topic also. So bring questions. Our guest, she's living in US. She's working with the Bethel Church. So she's really amazing to talk about this topic. So bring questions, and if you want to invite anyone, you already have the link to send it. And I see you guys next week on 11 a.m. Brazilian time.
Brazil
Okay?
time.
Yes. So have a great week, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you.